It's the Daily Dog.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. You know, it has been a long time since we have had music by the Moody Blues on the channel, and that ends today. I am pleased to release a reaction that I did to their classic album, Days of Future Past, to my YouTube audience. So back in June of 2022, I recorded my reaction to the entire album. It was my Extended Play Lounge episode number 22. And it was my first time getting to a full album by the Moody Blues. I have since gone on to record another one, and I plan to go in order with their classic albums. And so far, I have really responded positively to their sounds, and I wanted to share it all with you today. So today I'm going to release side one of Days of Future Past. So it's going to include The Day Begins, it's going to include Dawn is a Feeling, Another Morning, and Peak Hour. And I really hope that you enjoy it. I did, so here is my reaction recorded in June of 2022. This is their second studio album and their first concept album. It was released in late 1967, and it is still cited as one of the first examples of modern progressive rock music. It was relatively slow, though, out of the gate, as there was quite a bit of uncertainty around how it would be received. Right? Because they had started as a rhythm and blues band, a more straight-ahead R&B band, and this album marked sort of a departure for them in their overall style. Their label, Decca, had wanted to promote this new technology that would allow them to make a recording in stereo instead of mono, and it was catching on in the classical realm, right, with classical music fans and classical albums, and they wanted to roll it out to their rock and roll audience. So the idea from the label was for the band to do rock versions of music by Dvorak from his New World Symphony, his Ninth Symphony, with the orchestra playing some of the original excerpts from that work in between the rock songs. And the band said yes to that, but apparently they decided in the end to use their own songs instead. And then what ended up happening was the orchestra had this wonderful arranger, and he ended up doing orchestrated stuff to go with what the band was doing, and even adapting some of the themes that the band was writing. So the band had been developing the concept for this album for a while. They're using elements of a normal passing day as a pretty strong metaphor for phases of life. And I've never listened to the entire album all the way through, y'all. I know that I know Knights of White Satin, and I've heard some of the other stuff, I think, but I'll be eager to see how this all hits me tonight. The funny thing is, though, after this story with wanting to do the Dvorak and then the band didn't, the label didn't know. The band went ahead and recorded everything, and they hand over the album, and the label's like, that's not Dvorak. And the band's like, yes, it's our own stuff. And the label ended up releasing it. And, you know, it's the rest is history, as they say. I did find one other tidbit before we get started with the music that, and I'm not sure how true this is, but it was a correlation between the new growth of the FM radio dial, which was able to be broadcast in stereo, with this longer music, this rock music that was now mixed and laid out in stereo, and the rise of FM radio helping cement the album as the years went on is something that I found quite interesting. So we've got Justin Hayward on guitars and piano and vocals. John Lodge is on bass and vocals. Mike Pinder is on the mellotron, piano, and vocals. Ray Thomas on flutes, percussion, piano, and vocals. Graham Edge is on the drums, percussion, and vocals, and the London Festival Orchestra is playing along, and Peter Knight is the conductor and arranger. I am using, as instructed, the original 1967 edition of this piece. For better or worse, we're going to hear how it was released back in the day. So we're going to start with side 1, and the first track is The Day Begins, and off we go, y'all. Let's do it. Here we go. I see the track going, but there is no sound yet. There's something really long fade in. Lets you know you're in for an adventure right off the bat, doesn't it? It's like, all right, here we go. Beautiful horn line, too. Beautiful orchestration. So I believe this acts as a true overture with themes that we'll hear throughout the album. Beautiful. Yeah, Peter knew what he was doing. Some Debussy-like stuff in through there. Some whole tone motion in the bass especially. It's like parallel dominant ninth chords. Just I'm not as familiar with all the themes yet of the entire album. So, except that's Nights on White Satin. Right? Beautiful. Turns major. Then do we get the poem?
Cold-hearted orb that rules the night, removes the colors from our sight. Red is gray and yellow white, but we decide which is right and which is an illusion. Pinprick holes in a colorless sky let insipid figures of light pass by. The mighty light of 10,000 suns challenges infinity and is soon gone. Nighttime to some, a brief interlude. To others, the fear of solitude. Brave Helios, wake up your steeds. Bring the warmth that countryside needs.
I think in general it's a call for inspiration. Brave Helios, wake up your steeds, bring the warmth the countryside needs. Just wonderful. So I have that set in our playlist here. So that I can kind of control which one is going to happen next. And so we're going to move on to the second song, which is Dawn. And Dawn is a feeling, and it goes a little something like this. Here we go. Major 7th sound, lovely flutes. He's using all of these instruments with such deftness. Subtle little pizzicato in the strings.
Dawn is a feeling.
Alright, there's the band.
Ceiling. The smell of grass just makes you pass into a dream. You're here today. No future fears. This day will last 1,000 years if you wanted to.
This day will last 1,000 years if you wanted to. It's interesting that this is in a minor key that sounds so solemn. As I'm looking, hang on a second, I'm gonna stop this. As I'm looking at, as I was listening into as I was reading into the lyrics. The first verse, dawn is a feeling, a beautiful ceiling. The smell of grass just makes you pass into a dream. You're here today, no future fears. This day will last 1,000 years if you want it to. And the music sounds sad, somber, right? There's a dichotomy there, right? I want to keep on rolling. Off we go.
You're here today, no future fears. This day will last.
It's Justin singing low in his register. This one was written by Mike Pender.
Do you understand that all over this
Now that's Mike singing, pretty sure.
In minds far and near, things are becoming clear with a meaning. Now that you're knowing,
Back to the main minor key, especially with that descending leading tone of the bass.
it's true, life flies faster than us.
By
could ever see.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You're here today. No
Flat 2, dominant 7 to 5/7 to minor
This
1.
day will last 1,000 years if you want it to.
And then the orchestra comes in. Expanding on the melodies that we were just hearing and the chord progressions. It's an interesting start to things. That is an interesting start to things. Dawn. Dawn is a feeling. Well, let's see where that feeling goes. Woo! It's going to be interesting as we move forward. The next little section and song is called The Morning, and I think the track is called Another Morning. This one is written by Ray Thomas, and let's go. Here we go. Of course, it starts with the flutes. Buoyant. And as the band comes in, it's a different meter and a different tempo.
Balloons flying, children sighing, what a day to go kite flying. Breezy school, away from school, cowboys fighting out a duel. Time seems to stand quite still in a child's world. It always will.
Time seems to stand quite still in a child's world. It always will. So this is part of the allegory, right? It's not just the morning of a particular day, it's the morning of a lifetime. And so this is childlike. Right? When we seem to have all the time in the world.
Yesterday's dreams are tomorrow's sighs. Watch children play, they seem so wise. Very green
Cute
today's
little
queen of
jig in D.
are a dreaming cotton frocks and golden locks. Her palace is an orange box. Time seems to stand quite still in a child's world. It always will.
And I love that all of them sing and we get different lead singers on different songs. That's makes it feel more like an ensemble album, doesn't it? It's just carefree. You know? This one works. It makes me I'm rethinking that Dawn one now because I was thinking childlike for dawn is the beginning of day, but no, that was more of we're not sure what we're about to get into. You know, are you sure you want to start this or not? Now that we're here and we're kids, we're like, ooh, this, that, and the other. And then that fades out and the orchestra takes over. That's interesting. It's like the Christmas version of the song. He's just taking little motives that were in the piece and just weaving them out into these little interludes. I'm really impressed with that quite a bit. On we go, y'all. So let's see. That one was The Morning, Another Morning, and then this next one is going to be Lunch Break, and it's Peak Hour. This one is written by John Lodge, and let's hit it, y'all. Off we go. Here we go. Big dominant into that C what was, and now they're way on to something different. But we're bustling now, right? So we're at our peak hour, so this means peak, efficiency, peak energy, right? So it makes sense that there would be this energetic rhythmic motive undergirding it. Doubles, right? It's like the notes only move as eighth notes, but they're playing 16ths, they're playing doubles. A lot of this is unfamiliar to me so far, y'all. Or it's been so long that I just really don't remember. Out, and in comes the band. Again with more drive to it. Love the bass. Dominant 7. Minds are subject to what should be done. Problems are solved. Time cannot be won. 1 hour a day, 1 hour a night. Sees crowds of people. Home in full flight. We're working. We're doing our stuff, right? Step to that dominant sound.
It makes me want to run out and tell them they've got time.
It makes me want to run out and tell them they've got time. Take a step back. Reminder to enjoy the view, right? That's little bit. It sounds a little bit like the Beach Boys, but not quite, you know? That's going to be the end of the first side. Cool. It's really a fascinating sound, how they are weaving these orchestral and rock sounds together. And it sounds like it's really difficult for them to have both the orchestra and the band playing at the same time. Otherwise, they would do it more. It's like one, plays for a while and then fades out while the other one fades in, which it makes for a really fascinating dialogue. Really does. What an overwhelmingly beautiful side of music. It's absolutely spectacular, isn't it? And when you think about just how dated the recording is, it's from the late 60s and it sounds so current and alive. It's just amazing technology that they were pioneering back at that time. And it's really cool to hear both the orchestra and the band kind of just interweaving on this side of music. It's a great album, and I do go on to side 2 in the original video, and that is available on my Patreon if you would like to see it. But for now, I'm going to stop, and we will get to the afternoon and the evening in another video. But that is all for today, my friends. Thanks for hanging out with me, and we will see you next time on another edition of The Daily Dog.